this project, I'm going to make something I've already made on Urban Shopworks. Not only have I already made one of these EDC trays, but it was actually one of my more recent videos. The truth is, this project isn't about the project itself, but more about just getting out into the shop and breaking a cycle of not putting in my time in here. I love having a shop, and I've worked very hard to acquire all the tools in here and set this space up the way I want. But as life goes, sometimes my focus ends up elsewhere and less of my free time ends up in the shop than maybe I would like. I wanted a win today. Actually, I needed a win. I needed an easy project that I don't overdo and can possibly finish the same day I start. You see, I have a bad habit of overthinking myself into not acting. And even with the projects I start, they can quickly become an overwhelming amount of work. So I deliberately picked a piece that I've made before. Only with this one, I'm using my CNC. Now, I got this CNC last spring, and it took me the entire summer to get it fully set up with the custom dust collection and all of that, and I had a blast designing and making the custom parts with my 3D printer. The end result was well worth the time I put into this. Plus, the amount of stuff I learned throughout the whole process was extremely valuable and rewarding, I might add. I mean, that's the whole reason I started down this maker's path in the first place. It's because I love learning new skills. It can be so rewarding, albeit frustrating at times, but generally the feeling of learning a new skill, whether it's in a design program or in the shop, is the why I keep doing this. And I feel like lately I've possibly forgotten my why. And that's the whole point of picking something easy to make and just getting myself into the shop. And this project isn't without any new skills learned. For example, this is my first time using a bowl bit on my CNC. This is also my first project with it where I have to change the bit halfway through the cut, and I'm happy to report that I didn't screw that up. So that's a win. After the CNC was finished with its portion of the job, I took to the finishing, starting out with rounding the bottom edge with a roundover bit and my cordless trim router. Then I sanded the whole tray with 220 grit sandpaper. This brings the surface to a silky smooth finish, which leads me to my next new skill I got to learn on this project. You see, I've always liked leathercraft, and it's something that I've wanted to start for quite a while, and I think this is a good project for that. In my previous EDC tray, I had hand-wrapped cord around the base, and as fun as that was, it was highly unpractical and definitely not repeatable. So for this one, I want to go with a much more common material, and that's where the leather comes in. The first step in this process is making a template for the leather. I cut perfect matching templates out of cardstock and then transferred that to the leather. I used a piece of dowel to cut the radius in the leather, and then I proceeded to cut the leather out a second time, only with my laser, because apparently using a dowel and an X-Acto to make your radius on leather isn't even close to accurate. Or maybe I just can't cut straight. So there is that. Now that the leather is cut to shape, I finished the walnut with Rubio Monocoat Oil 2C Pure and proceeded to apply contact cement to both the tray and the backside of the leather. the cement sat for about 15 minutes and was dry to the touch, I pressed the leather pieces into place on the tray. Few minor hiccups, but all in all, I'm going to call this project a success. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I needed an easy win to get me back in the shop and break the cycle of not coming in here and doing what I love to do. The whole point of having this space and these tools is to challenge myself and learn new skills. That feeling that you get when you build something is what I've been chasing since I first fell in love with making. And I guess at the end of the day, that's my why.